Hey friends, welcome back to Nerd Initiation. I'm Zana.
I'm Jason.
And today we're going to talk... See,
You okay over there?
Something always happens when I'm about to say the word Loki. Every time. Like, remember a couple of times, last time we were here, I said we were talking about Loki, and then I accidentally stepped all over my drink and it got everywhere.
Yes.
And then another time we were talking about Loki, and then like something fell over in the other room or something like that.
The god of mischief's at work here.
Every time, it's the god of chaos. Anyway, today's episode we're going to be talking about episodes 5 and 6, the season finale of season 1 of Loki. And I say season 1 because at the end of the episode 6, they announced that it's going to be officially a season 2 of Loki.
That was pretty cool.
It is, because that's the first of the Marvel shows on Disney Plus that is set for a season 2.
That's right. Didn't it say something like Loki will return? Like it used that phrase?
For season 2, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What that reminded me of, it was kind of a callback to the old James Bond movies. Like at the end of the credits for everyone, it would say James Bond will return in A View to a Kill, or whatever movie was coming out next.
Well, see, they've set the someone will return or whatever. Like, I think the first Marvel movie that had, I want to say Spider-Man, and it said like Spider-Man will return, and then like when Natasha died, it said Natasha will not return.
Yeah.
Which made me cry.
Yeah.
So they've done that a few times.
I think they've been doing callbacks to James Bond movies.
Could be.
The old Superman movies would do that too. I think the end of Superman 1 and the end of Superman 2 said, next year Superman 2 or coming soon Superman 3.
Ah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Superman is a DC movie, so...
Yeah. Really good one.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so Loki. So let's start with episode 5. And just so you know, this is gonna, if you haven't watched episode 5 and 6 yet, this will contain spoilers because we're going to talk about it and talk about our very most favorite things about these episodes. Season 5, we start out, we're now in the void, so Loki just got zapped.
Yeah.
Zapped, I guess.
And we got to see what that looks like.
Yeah, and we got to meet Loki Gator.
Yes.
I like Loki Gator a lot.
Loki Gator's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And brutal.
We get to that in
6.
in episode 6, yeah. But Loki Gator's hilarious. But so he's now in the void. He's meeting all the other Lokis who have also been pruned, because I guess that's a thing that they just like prune all the Lokis ever.
Yeah. I just like that phrase, pruning. I think that's fun.
It is a fun phrase. I do like that. Yeah. But so now we're in the void, and he meets all the Lokis, and they show him the giant smoke monster. I already, like 2 seconds ago, I said the name, and now I can't remember what the name was again.
Eliath?
Eliath?
Mm-hmm.
I want to call it Illyra, but that's not right. That's a woman of some sort. Eliath.
Mm-hmm.
Eliath.
Something like that.
Who knows? We don't know. We only watched it.
We're in the
a couple of
ballpark.
times, it's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we're close, who cares, right?
How's that Baja Blast treating you?
It's amazing. Thank you to our friends at Taco Bell who keep us fueled.
Yep. They're part of every episode.
Yeah, I think from the beginning, right? Or since we've been doing it
Doing
together.
it in person,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
In the beginning, it was by Monsters, which I still have every day, but that's a different story.
That's right, yeah. We went from Monster to Taco Bell.
Oh, no.
Good combination.
I think so. Yeah, it's nice. But what was your favorite part about episode 5? Like, when we're introduced to the Void and Alioth and all the other Lokis, what's your favorite?
Oh man, I liked Kid Loki. I think there's a lot of potential there. Kid Loki was a part of the Young Avengers in the comics.
So they're setting that up.
Yeah, we may see him again at some point. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Well, like the MCU has been setting up the Young Avengers for a while now. They in WandaVision, and there's
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think something about Hawkeye's daughter too.
Yep, upcoming Hawkeye show. Yeah. They're out there. And something that happens at the end of episode 6 might be setting up another member of Young Avengers. So
interesting.
we'll get to that.
But my favorite part, I think, is, and just because I think it's hilarious, when they go down into the Loki sanctum, I guess.
Good name.
Yeah. In the Void, you see all of like the little Easter eggs and things like that, and there's
there were a lot.
It's like a really, really rundown, apocalyptic, other world kind of thing of New York, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the Avengers Tower, but it's not the Avengers Tower. And it's got like a whole bunch of other things. Did you see the Thanos copter?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
From Spidey Super Stories issue 4 from the 70s.
Yeah.
Which wasn't even like a story considered in canon. Because Spidey Super Stories were aimed at like younger readers.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of like it was separate from the main line of Marvel Comics. Probably has its own Earth number designation in the multiverse. I would imagine someone out there has cataloged that. But that's always something people joked about was the Thanos copter.
Yeah, Thanos copter. And then when we're going down into the Loki Sanctum, we pass by like a bunch of the TVA lunch trays and whatever. But then we see Mew Mew, Mjolnir, and then Throg. And I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
And did you know that it actually is Chris Hemsworth that is voicing Throg?
I didn't find that out until after I saw the episode, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard something about it, so I looked at IMDb and I was like, oh my god, it's true, and I sent you I took a screen capture of the IMDb. I'm like, it's him.
Yeah, I never would have known.
Yeah. Apparently he's just doing voiceovers of his like the
his grunting
and things like that, because he's trying to get out of the the glass that he's in to get to Mew Mew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Frog Thor was something else from the comics back in the 80s. That was a storyline.
Yeah, and I just like that they call him Throg.
I know.
Hilarious.
It's a good name.
Now, in the comics, is it? I'm assuming Loki turned Thor into a frog, or what happened there? That's what I'm assuming, because I think. Okay, so where I'm getting this is, that's what Loki. Well, that's what Matt Damon Loki said.
Oh right.
In the movie Ragnarok, he's like, that one time I turned you into a frog when they're doing the stage
the
show.
Play. Yeah.
The play, yeah.
As far as the comics go, I'm not sure because I never read that storyline. It was a little before my time, but I've heard that it is a good story. I know Walt Simonson's the guy who wrote and drew it, and he's really good. So those are probably worth checking out for some of you people who want to check out some classic Thor stories. And that's another thing, too. The title of the episode was Journey into Mystery. That's the name of the old comic that Thor debuted in the 60s.
Oh.
Before he got his own title.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's a little Easter egg in and of itself.
Is that, the first we see of Thor and Loki in the comics?
Yeah, I think Loki's in that first issue, too, I want to say.
Journey into Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a great name for the episode since we're going into the void and things like that. It's super mysterious.
It was. Mysterious like me.
You're as mysterious as Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. Anyway.
Zoinks?
Okay. Anyway. So we see a whole bunch of Lokis in that episode too. So we see classic Loki,
Yep.
Gator Loki, Kid Loki. What is this? The bragging Loki or something? Like he brags a lot, I guess is what they're
Yeah.
calling him.
Yeah.
Boastful Loki. I don't know. And then we meet a whole bunch of other Lokis too. We meet President Loki and all of his ragtag Lokis. Where's President Loki from?
Not familiar with that one.
How dare you? You're supposed to know everything about Marvel. Thank you very much.
There is I mean, this is DC, but there is a President Superman. That's a thing.
Well, that's what we talk about a lot. Is that there is actually a lot of parallels between DC and Marvel in a lot of different things.
Sometimes they copy each other, even inadvertently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, episode 5. We had that cliffhanger with episode 4. Like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And,
Because he got pruned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see those characters, see the other variants,
Yeah.
and
I find it very interesting that Lokis always get pruned. Like that's
it just must have to do with how their magic affects the timeline.
Like their chaos magic.
Yes. Yeah, it's got to be that. It's like they want to offset that effect, maybe, by pruning them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe whoever is running the TVA doesn't. I don't know. He sees Loki's powers as like a threat to his TVA or something like that, or not quite.
Possibly.
So he sees him as a threat to the TVA, like his powers or something, because he's an agent of chaos, he's a god of chaos. So, and TVA is definitely very much against chaos.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. So.
You are an agent of chaos.
I am. Yeah, all hell Loki. Even though I have been blessed by Thor. I have some thunder thighs.
And you're blonde.
And I'm blonde, like Thor. It's so funny. Have you seen? There's like a meme out there that it says it's like Thor, and he's talking about how Loki was adopted, but then it shows Loki and Hela together, and they look exactly like. And Bruce Banner's like, "You sure that you're not the one that's adopted?"
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but I never thought about that. That does make sense.
Right? Yeah, because Loki and Hela look exactly the same.
Makes me think about how they replaced Bruce Banner, like the actor. It was Ed Norton, and then it became Mark Ruffalo.
I liked Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo's great.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no in-story explanation for the change. We just go with it.
Well, I think it's fine because, what's his name? Ed Norton? No.
Ed Norton?
Ed Norton was never actually in any of the Avengers movies.
No, but...
I know he had his own standalone Hulk movie.
Yeah, which Tony Stark appears in at the end.
Oh.
Remember? Like, he invites him to join the Avengers. Or he talks to General Ross, who's now Secretary Ross.
Oh. I guess. I don't...
Yeah.
Anyway, but... Yeah,
RDJ.
RDJ. Yeah, well, because when you said that, I was like, I don't remember that at all, because RDJ and Iron Man and the Hulk don't meet until the first Avengers movie when they're on the shield plane.
That's true.
Thing.
But yeah, Tony Stark approached General Ross about trying to get the Hulk. So that's what it was. Yep.
Oh, I see. Anyway, so the Hulk, I don't know. There was, if I remember correctly, there was one Hulk movie that everybody hated, so they made another Hulk movie as like an apology.
Yeah, and it was better.
And that the one that was better was the Ed Norton one.
Yeah.
Who played the Hulk in the really bad one that everybody hated?
Eric Bana.
Oh, poor guy.
So, the one with Ed Norton, the villain was the Abomination, who's going to be reappearing in Shang-Chi.
And he's fighting Doctor Strange's friend. The guy who's the guy who's in Doctor Strange.
Dormammu?
No, not Dormammu. No, the guy who is also a wizard. He lives in the sanctum with Doctor Strange.
Wong?
Wong, thank you.
Yeah.
God, I couldn't get Agent Wu out of my head from WandaVision, so like I'm like, oh god. So yes, Wong. It was from what I saw, because he was using the wizard magic.
Yeah.
Wong was the one that was fighting Abomination in that trailer. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Well, I noticed that. That's why I bring it up. But like, yeah, I was like, ooh, wizard magic. It's not what that's called, but we're gonna call it that because that's what our DJ calls it.
Yeah. Well, we can't replace, or we can't forget the other replacement. War Machine was different.
Oh,
Rhodey. Yeah,
Rhodey.
he was Terrence Howard in Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Then he became Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don Cheadle's good.
Yeah, and if you, I like to watch like a lot of the bloopers for like the Avengers movie, and they make fun of Don Cheadle all the time for it.
Yeah.
Like they tease him about it, or like they'll tease like the other, not War Machine, but they'll tease Falcon. They're like, "Ooh, you look like Don Cheadle," and they just like, like it's pretty funny that they just tease him about that whole the Rhodey thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because they even set up War Machine in the first one, because Rhodey sees the other armor and he's like, "Next time, baby."
Yeah, but it's not until Iron Man 2 that he gets to fly away with the machine.
Yep, Iron Man 2. Then by Avengers: Age of Ultron, he becomes an Avenger.
Well, yeah, because no, I'm thinking Falcon. I was gonna say.
Oh, Falcon too.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say like we get that whole scene of Natasha and Cap training the new Avengers, but I think that's Falcon and Wanda that they're training, not War Machine. It's Falcon.
Because they were like the younger heroes or newer.
Newer, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the newer ones.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while.
That was at the beginning of Civil War.
Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not talking about Loki like at all.
It's all
we're
connected.
just talking about the MCU. It's fine.
It's all connected.
Anyway, yeah. So it is all connected because we get a lot of like the different things, Easter egg from all of the rest of the MCU in the Loki show.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any Easter eggs that you can think of that you notice that's in Loki that's from the rest of the MCU?
Nothing comes to mind right now, but I know there were a lot in that episode 5. I know it's something like you'd probably have to go back and watch and like slow it down to like catch all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of references to different things.
That's true. That's true. Well,
like in the post-apocalyptic landscape.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. And I know the thing I found interesting is in Loki was that Kid Loki said the reason that he was pruned was because he killed Thor, which our Loki has been half-heartedly trying to do for a while.
Yeah.
Not seriously, but Kid Loki actually did kill Thor.
Yeah, Kid Loki did it.
Dun dun dun. Which is, and then he, in the Void, he kind of is like the leader of their little Loki gang.
I guess he's a little more ruthless, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
And then talking about the MCU, so like in season 5, they're just kind of like building the story of the Void, or not building the story, but building the world of the Void, kind of explaining it.
Yep.
Everything that gets pruned and goes there, which is very interesting. We get we watch Ravenna, Renslayer, trying to figure out what's going on with because now it's known that the TVA is not what everybody assumed it was.
Right.
She doesn't even know. I don't think she knew much about it either, because she was pruned, because we later learned that she was a high school teacher or principal or something.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, like seeing that backstory.
Yeah. So we know that she's pruned and not originally from the TVA or made from the TVA, just like everybody else.
Were you pruned?
No, I'm a Nexus being. I'm perfect, just the way I am in every scenario.
This makes sense. I like it.
Thank you. But and we're just kind of leading. See, I felt like episode 5 is getting us to. I mean, it's the whole story is for us to find out what goes on in episode 6. However, this one's like setting up that episode 6 finale and going into it. So you're kind of learning more about the Void. You kind of you see President Loki and all the other Lokis, and then fucking alligator Loki bites his hand, and that's hilarious. And then at the end, we see Sylvie prune herself.
Sylvie. Yeah.
She prunes herself because she's looking for Loki. Well, she's obviously betrayed by Renslayer, which obviously is gonna happen. And then her last dance is she prunes herself. And then so Sylvie prunes herself and ends up at the Void too. We get Sylvie coming back in, and Sylvie and Loki finding each other in the Void, and we find fucking Mobius again. Mobius is driving the pizza car.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. And then she, she comes up with the big plan of how to go forward. She's got to enchant the beast, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah. And I love Mobius in this episode. He's great. And he gives all the other Lokis a pep talk, which I think is pretty funny. It's super Mobius.
Yeah. He was really the breakout character for the show.
Oh yeah.
He was one of the highlights.
Yeah, I love Mobius. I think he's great.
Should I have a mustache like Mobius?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, just be Mobius.
I should.
You should. Why aren't you Mobius? I don't understand.
Good question. I will try harder.
That's right. That's right. Be Mobius. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so he's great. And then there's a lot of you're kind of talking about it, but there's a lot of moments, like special shared moments between Loki and Sylvie.
Yeah. Which we knew was coming at some point.
Yeah. Oh, their little blanket scene where they're sharing the blanket and she says it's not comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like me. Someone's trying to do something, cute and special for me, and I'm just like, but it's not comfortable. Like, why are you doing this? That sounds like me.
It's like you're not acknowledging the sweetness of it. It's just what you're feeling in the moment.
Yeah. But then, she comes around. It's pretty cute. It's pretty funny. I like those, like, awkward, cute moments between them. Like, it's very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we get the final battle scene. Dun dun dun. And we get, like, classic Loki, like, raising all of Asgard in the Void.
Yeah, there were some really cool moments towards the end there.
Yeah.
I liked it.
What are your thoughts? Like, what was your favorite moment in the battle?
I don't know, like, if I could pick one thing, because the thing that stood out to me the most was, like, there's a lot at stake here. Like, this is just important. Because this is leading to, like, the next step in the multiverse exploration kind of a thing.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, he what's interesting, because we always get that whole, like, the speeches about, oh, because Loki survived, Loki survived, Loki survived. But then we see, like, at the end, when classic Loki is, like, raising up Asgard and distracting the monster, Elias. Oh my god, I can't remember. Anyway, and it's finally at the end, and then, you know, we see him, like, laughing, like, ah, ha ha ha, glorious purpose. And then, like, he gets, right before he gets eaten, all of his magic, like, just stops glowing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, is he dead? Or was that a projection of himself? Because classic Loki is the one that he said he made a projection of himself so good that the Mad Titan couldn't even see through it.
Now we're getting into, like, Star Wars, like, projecting your Force image type of thing. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I like it.
Well, like, because I don't want Kid Loki to be alone in the void.
Oh, that's the main reason?
Well, you know, Kid Loki and Classic Loki were, like, friends or whatever, and then, you know, Alligator Loki, you know, they were all, like, a little team. I don't want him to be alone there. Tasha?
Well, Kid Loki will find the Young Avengers.
Do you have thoughts on Loki, too? Yeah? And then, you know, it's... What I find interesting when they do that, Sylvie is starting to enchant the beast, and then she's, you know, she and Loki, our Loki, hold hands, and she goes, you know, help me do this, and he goes, I can't. I don't have this power. And she goes, yes, you do. Yes, you can, because we're the same.
Yeah.
That was interesting. So does that mean, like, all Lokis have the potential to have the power of all of the other Lokis?
I would think so. It makes me think there's just some kind of shared being, the energy or something can be shared amongst themselves. That's my thought.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, so, like, I don't know. Can they, is it something that they share? Is it something that, like, they just, after a time, they each kind of, like, it's a whole, this is what I think in my head, it's like a whole, okay, so there's like a bowl of soup, right? And each Loki takes a spoonful. But, you know, but it's the same kind of soup, it's just each one has, like, a different, you know, vegetable from the soup. But they can go in and just, like, keep trying the other vegetables in the soup, right?
Yeah.
That's my analogy. You're welcome. It's my metaphor. Loki soup.
I like it. It works. I was wondering, though, like, is it something where, like, one Loki, like, to get power, they have to take it away from another Loki?
But our Loki didn't take it away from Sylvie. Like, they shared it. She still had the same power.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so, I don't know, that's kind of what I don't know. So that's kind of what I was like, well, how does he learn how to do it in that moment? Or does he, like, feel how Sylvie is doing it? Can he feel her magic?
Or is it like,
Loki soup or something?
It awakens the magic in him, kind of a thing?
Like, because of their hands held, like, their holding hands? Like, like, the power spreads?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, that could make more sense than Loki soup.
I want Loki soup now.
That's right, come on, Marvel, get on that. Marvel and Campbell's collab.
Yeah, that would be good. Limited edition Loki soup. It's really just like split pea and ham.
Ew. It's got spam in it, actually.
Sounds kind of good.
Okay, well, you have that.
I will.
Alright, you have fun with that. I'm good. Oh my god.
So a lot of people don't know you and I are variants of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
You're just like the female
You're-
Jason.
Well, you're like my variant, but I'm the original Nexus being. But you're my variant.
That makes sense, yeah.
Oh, hi, but you're the actual Nexus being, huh, Tosh? Yeah, not us variants, huh, but like, oh, okay. Oh. I just got hit in the face with a tail.
You're in trouble.
That's right. And then, you know, they do end up enchanting the beast. So I like that that's how they win the battle. They enchant the beast and, like, it opens up and it reveals a rock in the middle of time, space, with a castle on it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool image.
Yeah. And that's, you know, where we left off-ish, and then now we're in episode 6, and episode 6 is, like, that's the mashup of everything. Because, you know, we open with the Marvel titles, and it has all of the different, not quotes, but, like...
Lines of dialogue, I guess?
Yeah, sound bites from the other movies.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get Natasha. Like, let me put you on hold. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Because she's so fucking badass. And, you know, you hear different sounds. Like, I think you hear the Iron Man choo noise.
Yep.
And Spider-Man's noise. That's not... I'm just making my own noises, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, all the sounds that each hero makes.
Mm-hmm.
Doing their heroing.
Doing their heroing. Yeah, I can do this all day. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so that got the final episode off to a good start.
It really did. And, you know, that's kind of what I was saying about episode 5, is that it's leading into this episode 6 and trying to, you know, accumulate all of, like, the MCU little bits and Easter eggs into this episode, this finale episode of season 1.
Yeah. It's almost like the culmination of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a cool way of looking at it.
So what are your, going into episode 6, what are your thoughts?
It was weird because it was like, I had a lot of thoughts. It's almost like, gosh, I can't believe this is the last episode already.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, wow, this is the culmination of everything it's been building up to. Like, we've pierced the veil. We've journeyed into mystery. This is where it all gets wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
And see what it potentially will set up.
That's true. That's true. Are you excited for episode 6 and on what's gonna be revealed?
Yes.
Yes, because that's gonna, yeah. And you're right. So after the battle, and it in episode 6 it shows the castle, and then Loki and Sylvie go in. You're right. It is a lot talking, a lot of exposition, but we see how sus Miss Minutes is, because she just pops out of nowhere and, you know, kind of plays devil's advocate.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, kind of a cool role to do.
As a fake or some type of hologramic persona.
Yeah.
To be playing devil's advocate.
I like holograms.
Anyway, so yeah, and she Miss Minutes is there, like, tempting the Lokis, like, you can have everything you've ever wanted. You can be king of Asgard and king of Earth with Sylvie, and you can run everything, and la 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 la.
Yeah, the way that was presented, it was almost like, that's a tempting offer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but the Lokis stay strong.
They did. Yeah, they didn't give in to their baser instincts, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about the castle itself? Because the castle itself and the walls and everything looks like it was destroyed at one point.
Yeah, there's some kind of backstory there.
Yeah, and then, like, there's there's like the statues, and one of the statues is broken, like all of that good stuff.
Yes.
So the reason I say Miss Minutes is kind of sus is because she's working, like she just pops up in the castle at the end of time, really. Like she's working with whoever started the TVA, obviously we kind of knew that.
Yep.
But like, she, she's in there with the Lokis kind of tempting them, and then the next we see her is she's there with Ravenna Renslayer, and she's late, like sorry I'm late, because for some reason she can't be in two places at the same time. She's a hologram, but I guess whatever.
Right.
And then she says something suspicious like, here are the files. She goes, Ravenna was like, these aren't the files I asked for. And then Miss Minute goes, these are the ones he wants you to see. Mm-hmm. Sus. This girl's sus.
So, is that bringing us to the reveal?
Isn't it? Yeah, because the next thing we know, the Lokis are going down the cracked castle. I don't know, go into the next room. And what happens now? Is this your favorite? Who gets revealed?
Yeah, because it's a cool concept. Yeah, we see this guy in robes, reveals himself to be a scientist from the 31st century, who started the TVA.
And who's that?
Well, he's referred to as He Who Remains.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say the name, but it is implied to be the Marvel Comics villain Kang the Conqueror.
How do you feel about that? No, tell me more
it's
about.
Huge.
It's huge. Tell me more about Kang, because I don't know much about Kang. So, what's Kang's kind of story? What's his shtick?
I guess to sum him up, yeah, he's just a time-traveling despot, tyrant, villain kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Manipulating the time streams, kind of what he does. He's someone else who has variants of himself. There's another villain called Immortus, who's just a Kang variant. What this also leads to, and I think I hinted at this earlier, is there is you could call him a child Kang variant in the comics who adapts the identity of Iron Lad.
Oh, yeah.
And is a member of the Young Avengers in the comics.
You did say that.
So now, potentially, we have another Young Avengers member.
So Kang is a villain in the comics, right?
Yep.
He doesn't seem very villainous as He Who Remains.
No.
Is there good variants of Kang in the comics?
Yeah.
Is he maybe one of the good variants?
Yeah, or like less bad variants, maybe.
Yeah.
But, see, like the Iron Lad variant is less bad. He becomes a hero to atone for his variant's wrongdoings.
Oh.
So that's kind of why he's around.
Interesting. Okay.
So, I had a feeling, and I think a lot of people on the internet did too, that something was going to happen with Kang. So it was kind of cool to see that pay off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because WandaVision, there's a lot of things that may have been pointing to Mephisto, and that didn't go anywhere, right?
Right.
But this time they did the opposite, where everything is pointing to Kang, and it turns out that potentially it is Kang.
It was really the only way to go in a time travel story, because that's Kang's whole shtick.
Oh, is that, like, he's the only one that's known for it being as his shtick in the comics?
Like, as a villain. Mm. Yeah, for the most part. Another time traveler is Nathaniel Richards. That's Reed Richards' dad from the Fantastic Four.
Oh.
And I want to say him and Kang have, like, a rivalry.
Well...
Something like that.
Anyway. Back to it. So you're thinking that this is setting up for Phase 4, where Kang in Phase 4, right? We're on Phase 4? I don't even know what phase we're on. Is being set up for Phase 4 for the big bad, and for that, right?
Yeah, which the rumors I've heard is the Fantastic Four will be the last movie in Phase 4.
Oh, so they are doing a Marvel Fantastic Four movie.
They are, and they might tie all that together. And then my theory is maybe that's going to lead to a Phase 5 where the main villain will be Galactus.
Who's Galactus?
That's a Fantastic Four villain. He is the devourer of worlds.
Oh, is that the one that the Silver Surfer was like working for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they touch upon Galactus in that 2000s Fantastic Four movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer, but he's shown to be like a cloud of space dust or something. But yeah, the Silver Surfer is his herald, meaning the Silver Surfer looks for habitable worlds, or they could be inhabitable, basically worlds to provide Galactus sustenance.
So, which giant swirling cloud of magic evil is better, Alioth or Galactus?
Probably Alioth.
Yeah?
Because Galactus in the comics wasn't a cloud of dust, he was like a giant dude who wore like a big funky helmet. He had a cool look.
And did he just like eat the worlds like an apple, or?
No, it's more like he has these devices that like tap into the resources of the world and then funnel the energy into them, kind of a thing.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess it's a less
like,
cool visual.
To just like be standing in space and goes like, ooh, look, Earth.
You know, in the original Infinity Gauntlet story from the comics, it differs from the movies because remember in the movies, like the heroes fought Thanos and like Thanos was winning or whatever and they were disappearing. At the end of issue 4 of the miniseries, Thanos had defeated the heroes, but then who shows up is like Galactus and then a bunch of other cosmic entities. So Thanos has to take them on next in issue 5. That would have been a cool thing to see in the movies, like him taking on the cosmic beings.
I think that Thanos would lose the cosmic beings because fucking, I don't know, Thor almost had him.
Everybody was there, like Eternity, who is comprised of the cosmos itself. Who else? Oh, the Celestials, which I feel like they might be touching about them in the Eternals.
I was gonna say the Eternals, yeah.
Yeah. I think the Watcher was there.
I thought it was the Watchers.
There are multiple Watchers, but the one for the Earth 616 universe is Uatu. It's like each universe has its own specific Watcher.
Oh, I see. Because, like, you know, we get the, in one of the end credits of one of the Avengers movie, I can't remember which one, but we see, like, Stan Lee up in space, and he's assumed to be talking to some Watchers.
Or is that Guardians of the Galaxy?
What, maybe?
2?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's funny we were mentioning Galactus and Silver Surfer. The Watcher first appeared in Fantastic Four comics in the 60s in the same storyline that debuted those characters. Like the Watcher shows up on Earth and that foretold the coming of Galactus.
Oh,
pretty epic.
That is epic.
But then, you know, the theory I liked was that Stan Lee himself was the Watcher.
I did, yeah.
Because he appeared in every Marvel movie, if it was in the MCU or not.
Yeah.
Like he traveled those multiversal lines.
Yeah. Looking for Tony Stank.
Yeah.
I think that was cute. I think that was actually the story he was telling the Watchers, is that he called him Tony Stank instead of Stank.
Oh, right.
So you're thinking like season 4 is gonna be a whole bunch of like the Kang the Conqueror.
Phase 4
is gonna be all the big bad for all of Phase 4, and that might be going into, if they do a Phase 5, it may be coming in as Galactic.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
But then the question becomes, when does the X-Men enter the MCU? Because I keep hearing hints about Deadpool showing up in the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, yeah, because Ryan Reynolds just released, or
there was a video.
There was a video. They were doing a it was a ad for his new movie, Free Guy or something like that.
Oh, the video game thing?
Yeah, the video game thing, yeah. And it was him, Deadpool, and Krog, is that his name?
Korg?
Korg, on the couch, like, talking about it, and Korg is obviously Thor's friend. She has so many thoughts on this. What else?
Yeah. Tell all the cats out there.
But, you know, Krog's friend from Ragnarok, who doesn't die in battle. So that's nice.
Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of Endgame, wasn't Thor hanging out with the Guardians? Like, that's kind of what he's doing now. Because it makes me wonder if, like, Thor... Well, Guardians and, like, the Thor Love and Thunder movie, if those will be connected, if there's, you know, when there's a new Guardians.
Actually, I think so. I think you're right.
But yeah, that would be a good place to throw in Deadpool. Because the Guardians they're almost like kind of the misfits of the Marvel Universe. They're all the weird ones.
Yeah.
Like, if the Guardians were real, we would be in the Guardians.
Yeah. But I like how Thor calls the raccoon guy. What's his? Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket. I like how Thor calls Rocket Rabbit.
Yeah.
Good job, Rabbit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really funny. And Tree. This is my friend Tree. And I like that Thor spoke Groot.
Yes.
They teach it on Asgard.
I like how Asgardians sound British, but they're actually like Scandinavian.
Yeah, why didn't they have a Scandinavian accent? What?
Yeah.
I do Scandinavian accents at work all the time.
How's that go?
Oh, it's pretty funny. I get bored, so I do accents on my calls. And I watch a lot of this show called Norsemen, and they have like actual Scandinavian actors on that show. And so, like, that's a good show. It's funny. Not in the MCU though.
Until Disney buys it.
They're not gonna buy that show. It's not a show that they're gonna buy. Let me tell you. Nope. I'll buy it though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You whipped me with your ponytail. Oh man.
Anyway.
It's getting fierce over here.
Yeah. That's how I defeat Kang. With my ponytail. My ponytail of justice. Oh my god. Anyway, back to... I don't even know where
were we wrapping up Loki?
We were wrapping up Loki and we got distracted.
Well, you know, I guess, like, you know, the biggest thing to come out of it is Kang has been set up. Mm-hmm. And we got something at the end saying there would be a season 2.
Yes, absolutely.
The other 2 Marvel shows on Disney Plus have said nothing about new seasons, but this one is already saying season 2. So what could season 2 be about? I don't even know. I feel like, I wonder if it's just going to follow into whatever movies are coming up and then spin out of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because Wanda... Oh, what I heard is when, at the end of Wanda, you know, when she's reading the evil magic book, I will think about the name later, but when she's reading the evil magic book, you know, and she all of a sudden looks up and hears her children, I heard some people theorize that that's the exact moment that Sylvie, you know, breaks the timeline by killing Kang or killing He Who Remains. So
yeah.
At the end of season,
so like take place concurrently, kind of.
That's what I've heard. Is because at the very, very end. So you get Loki and He Who Remains talking and explaining the universe and explaining everything about the TVA and all of that. And then our Loki believes them and Sylvie doesn't. Sylvie wants to continue with her mission, you know, and then they have that epic Loki fight, and that's where they kiss. That was so cute.
It was.
Because I think she was crying or something, and he was crying, like they were crying.
It was emotional.
It was emotional, yeah. And then, she kisses him and then throws him into a time door back into the TVA. But what TVA does she throw him into? Nobody knows. Because at that moment is where she goes and dun da da kills He Who Remains with her daggers.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then that is what that one point in time where Sylvie fulfills her mission, kills He Who Remains, and you just see all of the timelines opening and spreading and going into one of another, and
that's the multiverse of madness.
Of madness. So I heard a lot of people theorize that when Sylvie kills He Who Remains and just disrupts all timelines, that everything opens, and that's when Wanda hears her children.
Not only that, the multiverse is going to play into the next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, that's right, because I heard Doctor Strange was going to be in that.
Yep, No Way Home, coming out in December, which there has not been a trailer for. And I kept hearing from people they weren't going to show the trailer until after Loki came out, because it has to do with what happened at the end of that episode.
Well, Loki's done. Give us the trailer.
I know, because remember,
come on, Marvel.
We saw Black Widow.
Yeah, we did.
And we saw Shang-Chi trailer. Mm-hmm. We saw Eternals trailer. Mm-hmm. That would have been a good spot to see the Spider-Man one, but they weren't ready to drop it yet. Yep.
Dun dun dun.
And we'll probably be seeing variant Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
You know, the rumor my son told me.
Yeah.
Someone, I'm not sure what the source is on this, but somebody saw Tobey Maguire like walking down the street and asked him like, "Are you going to be in the next Spider-Man?" And Tobey just looked at him and winked.
Damn, Tobes, what you doing?
Right?
Well, I like that he didn't say yes or no, but it's like.
Speaking of Tobey Maguire, this is a little bit of a tangent, but almost like tied into the variant thing. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this recently. If not, I listened to a podcast where they were talking about how they almost did a Spider-Man movie in the 90s, directed by James Cameron.
Yeah, I think you talked about that.
Yeah.
The last episode that we did.
With Leonardo DiCaprio possibly playing him.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast I listened to, they started coming up with this alternate timeline where they're like, so if Leo did Spider-Man, maybe he wouldn't have done Titanic. Then they're like, who would have done Titanic? And they're like, Tobey Maguire would have played Jack in Titanic.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, that would have been cool.
They would have just like switched
just
roles.
swapped lives.
Huh.
Maybe Tobey Maguire would have became the bigger actor like Leo is now.
Is Leo a big actor now?
I mean, he's probably had his day.
Yeah.
Because he's older now, but I mean, he was a big draw for a while.
That's true. That's true. And he was the one that kicked off everything awful that went on in the world once he got his Oscar. Once Leo finally got his Oscar.
Oh, you mean COVID?
Well, COVID happened, and Donald Trump was president, and everything bad that has happened in the United States was, you can track it. It all started when Leo got his Oscar.
This is your theory why it happened? All the bad stuff? I am intrigued by this. So now we're talking another variant timeline. If Leo never got that Oscar, things
Trump
would be different.
Would never have been president.
Mm-hmm.
We would never have gotten COVID.
I want to see this world. I like it.
Thanks. Just kidding. I love you, Leo. I'm just teasing.
Leo, I still remember you on Growing Pains. We go back that far.
You're old.
I've seen some stuff in my day. I am old.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Pretty great. Yeah. So, yeah. Where are we going to see Loki next? Do we have to wait till season 2, or will he pop up in one of these movies with the multiverse stuff? We'll see.
Oh my God! What if he does pop up in the multiverse, and then he can be reunited with his brother?
Yes. That would be cool.
Can you just imagine him walking in and like Thor's like, the fuck? And then he goes, brother. The sun is shining.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
That's right. But like the last thing that Loki said to Thor was, "The sun will shine on us again, brother." But yes, that's, it's so interesting that, you know, what the show Loki has now brought to the MCU and all of the doors that it's opened and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, and just like there's always that synergy between the companies, DC's going to be doing their own multiverse stuff. They already have. Like, the CW DC shows had their Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline, where they had the Flash from that universe meet the Snyderverse Justice League Flash.
Yeah.
And then the Flash movie that's going to come out is going to be all about multiverse stuff. And we're going to see the return of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne Batman.
And we're getting Edward Cullen Batman.
Yes.
Oh,
the more multiverses, the better.
He would hate if I said that, Robert Pattinson, because he hated Twilight.
Yeah.
Poor Robert Pattinson. He's such a cute guy. What a sweetie.
I can't wait for Batman. Or
Yes.
the Batman. It's going to be
Can't
good.
wait for Batman. Right?
Yep, multiple Batmen.
That's right.
Oh, because I think Ben Affleck Batman's going to be in Flash too. There's just going to be Batman everywhere. It's great.
Like all the Spider-Mans, there's going to be Batmans.
Yep.
That should be fun.
Yeah, a lot to look forward to as usual. Yes. But I will ask, as always, anything else nerdy this week?
Nope,
No.
just Loki. And I was very excited about it.
Last night I watched 80s cult classic Howard the Duck.
That's right. He was in the MCU.
He was.
Pretend.
But the one I saw last night would have been a multiversal variant of the one we saw in the MCU at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy and I think cameo in Endgame.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson was in it. I love her. You know, Marty McFly's mom. She's great.
Right.
She was also in another bad 80s movie, Jaws 3.
Anyway, so I just have one question for you, Jason.
What's that?
Am I a nerd now?
Not quite yet, young variant, but you're getting there. All in due time. And on that note, I remind everybody to
Nerd your heart out.